Good morning to one and all. It's Africa Pro Race Day 7. And of course, I'm not alone. I'm with race director Hendrik von Weilich. Welcome, Hendrik.
Thank you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, last week we had an absolutely grueling race. Very, very tough conditions. However, we ended up smiling because there was great results coming from that. Tell us a little bit about the weather conditions as well.
Yeah, no, good morning, Khotso, and thank you so much. Yeah, last week a very tough race, and pretty much what I predicted going to be a true leveler, and
Yes.
we're going to see lots of changes in the rankings.
Yes.
Now, interesting thing that I eventually picked up was that 4 of last year's top 10 black jacket rankings moved back into the top 10
Wow.
with last week. For example, the Deadlifts, they moved back into the top 10 and been the entire season. In the beginning of the season, they start in the middle rankings,
Yes.
around 38 and around there, and then every week as the races get longer and tougher, they're just making these jumps or leaps to the top. And also Bart Gerings
Yeah.
and Simon Kolsbrunner from Germany, they also move all the way back up into the top 10. And also Big Leap, they jumping.
Right.
And that was also a team that came 4th last year in the total ranking in the black jacket.
So no stranger to the top 10 as well.
No stranger. So the moment when you see these tougher races, those same names coming up. And that was something I mentioned a day when I launched the Africa Pro concept.
Sure.
And that day I mentioned, I say, I will only know if this concept is working 3, 4, 5 years down the line,
Right.
if we can see that fanciers consistently, those good fanciers consistently move up to the top rankings.
Sure.
The same what you see in other sports like cycling, tennis, golf and so forth. So I'm very excited to see that after last week's tough race. Umberto Loft as well as example, he moved 11 positions up into the 6th position last week. Kukumur and Gomes, very well-known team in Africa
Yes,
Pro for
indeed.
3 consecutive years. They move again from way down at the bottom. They just keep coming up. I think this year from 60th position, last year from 79th position. Just on last race of last week, race 6, they moved 15 positions up. Now they rank 4th again in the top 10. So very exciting times. So in my opinion, it's going to become harder and harder
Yeah.
to move those teams that's currently ranked in the top 10 today to shift them. Although everything is still possible. A final is a long day out there in a tough, we still 3 races to the final. Even today is 383 kilometers.
Yeah.
So very exciting times waiting for us.
And with regards, tell us a little bit, let's do some loft racing 101 now for the basic guys who are just entering the sport. What's the difference between last week's weather conditions and this week's weather conditions?
Yeah, so last week the Pigeons facing a headwind from the start,
Right.
and the day temperatures also rise. Now a headwind obviously slow you down. For those that cycle, they will know how much
Sure.
impact a headwind have on you.
Yeah.
And yeah, so with that, a different type of pigeon that can take that normally coming forward, and they also tend to make more time. They're winning more time against other pigeons that can't compete in that
Sure,
conditions. And
sure.
it's something I mentioned in last week. You got to make sure you have a type of pigeon that can fly in those weather conditions in case there's a day like that day. So a day like race 7 for us today, we predict more a tailwind. Here where
Right.
we are is no wind at all, and at the liberation point. But the weather forecast told us there is some nice tailwind in the middle part of the race. And Ron actually said to me on the route, driving back to us now, he found the pigeons on the side of the road. He was driving 170 kilometers,
Sure.
battle to keep up almost.
Right.
But and he said they're flying very high. Now, even in the tailwind, the pigeons do fly high.
Yes.
So that's where it's more wind, and they just go with the wind as well. Although I must say, a tailwind take more out of the pigeon. The cadence is much higher.
Right.
And so I always say, yeah, tailwind, some people complain it's too fast race, I can't read much in that results.
Right.
But I say, what you can read is next week's results.
Sure.
So there's a lot been taken now this week then out of the pigeon, and
Right.
now the thing is how they're going to perform next week. And next week's a big race. We're going to have a car race, which is the second biggest payout for before the final. And lots of prizes, and yeah.
A great surprise there for our fanciers. Now getting where we're now in race 7, 4 races left in the series. Now we're going back again to genetics. And exactly how well the birds are doing. Now, what sets the birds apart at this time? We're clearly seeing some distance of quite a few seconds between the birds as they land. Tell us a bit about that. What's your insight on that?
Yeah, no, for sure. If I'm talking genetics, I just go straight to the Blue Jacket the rankings,
Right.
and then I start reading in there, because Blue Jacket is not about a fancy or if you select or nominate a pigeon or
Sure,
not.
sure.
So the Blue Jacket ranking just keep telling me names like Kings and Gijslow. They're dominating the entire season so far. They're on top of Black Jacket, number 1 and 2 position on Ace Pigeon. So there's no doubts about it. They do have quality for this circumstance, this climate conditions we're racing in here in Africa. Bulent Mavis from Germany.
Yes.
He's only 32 seconds with his pigeon that's born and bred in Germany, shipped to us. So that tells also a lot.
Yeah.
And I know that comes out of a very good very good family, and they breed together with Nils Goderman and the Painters and Ulrich, also very known name. Eh?
Yep.
This year they win the Green Jacket. They've been ranked with 2 teams in the top 10, and making a big statement there as well.
Quite a storm over there.
Yeah, and locally in South Africa, they're also a big force to reckon with, normally in Union and Club and so forth. Valja Rossen, phenomenal. I make a prediction last week about his pigeon that was born out of Qatar horse.
Yes.
And Valja Free just put a cherry on the cake last week and just move all those positions up from 16, 17 position. Now he's there up in the top in the 4th position. And
then we have Team Waymans.
Yeah, Team Waymans as well. Where Team Waymans is performing, he normally don't disappoint.
Yeah.
So he have the genetics, he have the history behind him, and he don't settle for second best. He always makes sure you have the best in the world.
Sure.
Yeah. Kukumur and Gomes, very interesting. We know them very well in South Africa, known as the pigeon whisperer. They do understand pigeons, and they are very, very consistent. If you look over the history of Africa Pro, they have ace pigeons normally. They're winning a fancier competition for the last 3 weeks. They were second on a fancier competition. For 3 consecutive weeks, they're coming second. And so I wonder what they're going to do today. But the interesting one that everyone might miss is they have a pigeon called Ruby. Now, Ruby only make a mistake on race 2.
Right.
Now, I think it slept out on race 2. But beside from that little mistake, Ruby so far up till now was every time an equal winner. Yeah, and
sure.
like last week, it was a split, came second, but with a split second, not even a second.
Right.
So Ruby is a very good pigeon
Some
in my
good
opinion.
consistency there.
And this is the type of genetics we're talking there. And then, the pre-deadlifts as well.
Yeah.
They actually had 2 pigeons, 2 pigeons that move up into the top 10. But what's more interesting for me in that is, it was a tougher race, a harder race, and those 2 pigeons is the 2 in the top 10 that moved the most positions up.
Right.
For example, the 7th ace position today in Blue Jacket from the pre-deadlifts moved 70 positions up.
Sure.
Yeah. Now talking about genetics, for sure it's genetics. We know it's a known fact in South Africa. When it becomes longer and tougher, the pre-deadlifts just keep moving up.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing how that pigeon is bred, I would just allow me to tell you this beautiful genetic story. Is there's a pigeon now in South Africa, very famous, called Blue Moon.
Yeah.
It was the ace pigeon on the New Kings race this year. Also consecutive racing, known for tough races and so on.
Indeed.
So Blue Moon actually was an equal winner on many, many races and turned up to be the ace pigeon, of course. Now, the mother is a full sister of Blue Moon. The same mother of the mother of our ranked number 7 on the pre-deadlifts is also the full sister of Blue Moon. And so basically it is the same breed.
Right.
Yeah. On the 9th position of the pre-deadlifts, that pigeon moved up 48 positions. Sure. But that's also a beautiful story. Just to give you a little bit of background there. The pre-deadlifts bred the pigeon called Turbo Tom back in 2022. And that pigeon was ranked number 1 in the world FCI ranking.
Sure.
So the best pigeon in the world.
Right.
And that was called Turbo Kittel. Now, Turbo Kittel's sire, the father of Turbo Kittel, is also the father of the 9th ace today of the pre-deadlift in Africa Pro.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's some great genetics.
More interesting on that is now they're clever breeding. They also the grand dam of our 9th rank in Blue Jacket.
Yes.
The grand dam is also the mother of Blue Moon. So that's how they do the breeding and everything there. But my point here is genetics do play a big role.
Right.
And you need that type of thing, genetics, when it becomes tougher and harder. Today is perhaps not such a tough race. Today we found that was hardly any wind with Liberation, but in the middle we predicted that it's going to be more tailwind, and that's why the pigeons is flying higher and so forth.
No, for sure. And then talking about the race, we're not just focusing on pigeon racing next week. In fact, you have an absolutely amazing, very expensive surprise for our fanciers. Would you like to go ahead and tell them a little bit about it?
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, next week is our second biggest payout for the whole year, so before the final.
Yep.
And that is our car race. So the car race is there for everyone to win, even the viewers that just view and log in today that don't even have a pigeon in Africa Pro. You can still go out. We put a special out there, all the for sale pigeons. Everyone in the world can buy them, and the special price now is only $500 per pigeon.
If I may interject, what's the original price?
Was $750 a pigeon
Okay.
to activate. So now it's
Good
only
discount.
$500 a discount, and any person can go and buy some of for sale pigeons,
Yeah.
and everyone in Africa Pro have a chance to win this car, and there's good prize money.
Oh, well, that's really, really great. So we're looking forward to next week. Hendrik van Velen, thank you so much. You guys can tell why he's the race director. He's an absolute library when it comes to one-love racing. So thank you so much, and good luck to all the fanciers out there.
All the best. Good luck. So let's quickly have also then a look at our route for today. Today is a 383 kilometer mark, which that means is 50 kilometers south of Kroonstad. So also, as I mentioned last week, this is all very familiar and popular liberation points in South Africa. It's a route straight from, we call it the South route, where pigeons will fly out of the south straight north to the Gauteng, Pretoria, Johannesburg area. And yeah, today is over the Free State flat area, fairly very, very flat. As I mentioned, Ron say the pigeons flying high, so they're taking a bit of a tailwind, and all the way here to the Africa Pro Loft. And yeah, let's see how it's gonna unfold. We're expecting the pigeons anytime soon.
Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful morning at the Liberation Point. Good luck.
It's Africa Pro Race Day 7, which will see the avian athletes flying over a distance of 383 kilometers from Ventersburg. What changes will we see in the brown jacket standings? Good luck. Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to Africa Pro Race Day 7. We're looking at 383 kilometers for our avian athletes. I'm not alone, of course. I'm Khozo Ramopo, and with me is race director Hendrik van Velen. Very, very insightful man, Hendrik. Tell us a little bit about this morning's liberation. What time did it happen?
Yeah, it was 6:25. What we try to do is to liberate every time a little bit earlier if we can, because we're fortunate now that the day length getting longer and longer. So the sunrise earlier, and we don't want to liberate before sunrise, of course, or we normally try to give the 20-minute sunrise, and then we liberate it, yeah.
Right, and going back to the basics for pigeon racing, is there a certain aspect, is there a certain deciding factor as to when exactly you liberate the birds?
Yeah, it's always with sunrise. We try not. It become now more and more difficult because sometimes we get the overcast day,
Sure.
and I can't. To this day, I will never forget our final of the first year. What happened there was it was the final. All the pigeons, the people is waiting here, and in the final, you only have X amount of hours in that day for the pigeons to come back home. And that morning, there was a small, tiny little window in the clouds. You can't elaborate when it's overcast.
Sure.
So it was overcast the whole morning, and it fortunately just opened the clouds there, and we liberated. And 15 minutes later, it was closed again. It closed down again. So yeah, the point I want to make here is we try to give the pigeons a good sunrise, at least for 20 minutes, and then we will liberate, and we try not to do too late. Because if you do too late, it's getting hotter. Now in the summer, it's getting very warm, so the pigeons can do quite a bit what we try to do in a cold morning, so they can get some kilometers on a wing already. And yeah, once you out there, then you have a whole day for the pigeon to make his way back home, because we've got to accept every time there will be pigeons that make mistakes, and we need to keep them in consideration. For those that make mistakes, you must still give them enough daylight so that they can make their way back.
Understandable. And with the days getting warmer now that we're going quickly into summer, how do the birds take care of themselves in terms of drinking water? Are there water spots that they can stop?
Yeah, that's always a big concern of us is there water in the route, yeah.
Yes.
So, and that's actually been determined by the previous raining season, because right now in the winter we don't have rains on that entire route, but we actually bargain on river systems and ground dams and some water spots, and so as you say correctly. But we're also fortunate this time of the year now we can start expecting some shower or rainfall in these regions and so on. If I don't have it wrong, we have the first rains in this week actually.
Right.
And it because on one side it's a big advantage because we get water on the route, and in the beginning we need to remember it's young pigeons, young
Yes.
birds, and our concern is always, can we get them to know to go and down and drink water, and how can we train them that? And the first before that even is to drink water in the truck.
Right.
So this is also a process. Even as the pigeons arrive after quarantine, we start that whole process to get them used to the truck and eventually to start drinking in the truck. And it takes sometimes much longer than we anticipate. But yeah, once you get the pigeons to drink water, of course, then they can't or don't dehydrate, and they have a way much better chance to come back and return for good returns. Yeah, so we anticipate the pigeons to maybe, I don't know, we're going to see how we judge it as well. So pigeon, when they come back at the trap and they're landing here,
Yes.
and they're on their feet, and and you can actually see if a pigeon didn't drink water. It almost appears it's dehydrated.
Right.
And once they drink water, within 20 minutes, it's fully recovered. But we can then also, what we sometimes see is on a typical race like today, the front pigeons have those signs that they didn't drink much.
Right.
And then half an hour later, the pigeons that's in the third or fourth pack, a little later, you will find they are perfectly fine.
Right.
And and then we can see also the feet are full of mud.
Sure.
And that's a clear indication for us that those pigeons drink water. And that's a good thing, because that's what you need for a final. Every pigeon normally goes down and drink water. Only in the past we found last year final, I think the first group of 9 or 10 pigeons drink water.
Right.
But everyone that followed after did drink water. Yeah.
So there's a certain sacrifice that the birds make themselves in flights, and some decisions as well, whether to go down to drink water or to just put your head down and fly and win the race.
Yeah, no, exactly. So certain birds just keep pushing on, and where it become more complex, fortunately, it's not in Africa Pro scenario, but when you have old birds and young birds,
Right.
sometimes the old birds also doing very good on short distances and so on. But I find as well, it's not to say it's not a rule of thumb, but my experience was that the younger birds is sometimes, let's call it more stupid, and they will
Right.
just keep flying for the loft and not going down for water,
Right.
because they didn't have all that experience. They just want to get back to the loft.
Like home.
Yes, and then they don't drink water, and they sometimes in a longer racing, when you're in a club, they might start outperform an older bird.
Right.
It's not a general thing, it's just my way of thinking. And then also you get because in an old bird situation is you get over the years more and more experience.
Right.
So he's been there, done it, and he knows I can go down at this road to drink
Yes.
water. I take it more calculated. And he always come home. He's a very good pigeon, and he can fly good. But And that's the beauty of what I like about the one-off racing. These young birds, they are full of adrenaline when that truck is opening, and they just fight to get back home.
Absolutely full of zest. Now, I hear you talking about young birds versus old birds. Give us a little distinction between both of them. I understand that the young birds are the birds that are under a year.
Yes. So young birds is for us is obviously is let's talk for example for next year 2025 racing season.
Right.
Those pigeons that will race next year is pretty much born right now as we speak. And some is already in quarantine now. The quarantine just started, and there's quite a few pigeons already in our first shipment coming. Now those pigeons then will participate in the 2025 season. So they're around anything from 6 months till 12 months.
Right.
Yeah, when they're competing.
And talking about bringing the birds in now, I think it's that time. It's high time. In fact, we've had our first shipment. You did mention that the birds are in quarantine. When is the next shipment date?
Yeah, the next shipment date is actually on 20 October for most, in all countries, America. I just received last week's the permits. So I have a permit for Canada, for USA, for Belgium, Denmark, Netherlands, and yeah, so things are looking good for our imports. All permits are sorted, they are there. Our agents can also make contact with me. I have them here on my desk, and for the second shipment as well. Yeah, so the first shipment is on our way within just after the final, the first shipment arrived here. It's been 4 weeks, yeah.
Now, very, very importantly, we have a huge base of new fans in the sport. It's very, very exciting. The sport is growing absolutely fast. However, obviously, we need to touch base in terms of rules and how to get into the sport as well. Now, some people do find it slightly pricier. However, Africa Pro has put up a structure in which even new guys like me, who don't have that deep pockets like our original fanciers, can actually get into the sport and enjoy the adrenaline of it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that is, you can do a syndicate, or you can just do a single bird entry as well. So for next year, we're still running our single birds. So this year it was you're sending 5 pigeons, and you got to pay just at least for one pigeon. Like Jod Klabuskachny was ranked on the top for quite some time then. Yeah, and his pigeon was winning races, and he was leading a competition at the time, an ace pigeon, and basically just activate one pigeon. So for sure, it's for everyone out there, because some fanciers are more also commercial. They so much focus, and they just breed and have all the genetics of the world with them. But other fancy perhaps just have one good breeding pair. And you can also test that pair in Africa Pro in these climate conditions. This is a unique, I must emphasize that this is a unique race with unique climate conditions. Yeah.
Sure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you might have seen us going silent. That's in great anticipation of the birds arriving. They might be arriving slightly earlier today, but we're looking at birds in the skies and just scouting. You'll notice there's a little bit of an ambiance here. There's just a little bit of excitement. We have our handlers here at the loft already waiting and looking out in the sky. So very, very exciting times for us right now, Hendrik.
Yeah, no, for sure. This is big anticipation. Just check if all the cameras is working. The guys is going out. They start looking for the pigeons, and sometimes we just see a shadow going, and then it's a little swift. But it's just to spike the adrenaline.
So just a little bit of anticipation there as we wait for the first flock of birds to arrive. If you are one of the fanciers out there in the world, welcome once again. This is Africa Pro Race Day 7. We're looking at 383 kilometers. So very, very challenging still. We are in the endurance leg of the series. And as you can see there on the visuals, some of our birds just making their way home to our Africa Pro 1 loft home. And I must say, Hendrik, every week I look forward to coming here and actually smelling the food that the birds actually eat. Because those of you who don't know, the birds are so well taken care of here. They actually basically have a hotel here. And I spent some time in the aviary with Ruan, our loft manager, and he was mixing the food. And I thought, my goodness, what a delicious cuisine for the birds. So they're quite well taken care of. Well done to Africa Pro.
Oh, thank you. Good too.
Hendrik, we've got some very, very exciting competitions coming up. Now, you did tell us this morning that for the Africa Pro Fanciers, you have a massive, massive competition that's happening next week. Would you like to tell us a little bit about it? We do know already that it's one of the biggest paydays before the final, so I think a lot of guys are already looking forward to next week.
Yeah, no, goed so. Also very excited. That's our a car race. So we decide to have a bit of a hype and hype it up for the car and have a car race. And
Yes.
therefore we decide on a Ford Wild Track.
Beautiful.
Beautiful bakkie, have 0 kilos on, so brand new.
Yeah.
And it is out there, and it's something we want to repeat every year, and also want to build some momentum for our car race. So that is certainly our second biggest payout for the season. And yeah, before the final.
I'm absolutely envious. Now, it feels like this car is reserved for the top tier, top 10 fanciers. I want to know, for somebody like me, who's entry level, who's coming into the sport, will I be able to access the competition and maybe even walk away, or rather drive away with that beautiful Ford Wild Track?
For sure. Yeah, no, this is actually up there for everyone in the world to win. Even if you're not having a Pigeon today in Africa Pro, we actually decide to give a big discount on all the for sale pigeons. So there is for
Yes.
sale pigeons, over 200 of them, which you can just go and nominate the one and pay $500 for such a
Wow.
pigeon. And yeah, who knows if that pigeon come and win on a date next week, 480 kilometer race, then that vehicle is yours.
Absolutely beautiful. Not only that, Africa Pro has got a few more tricks up their sleeve. So that's the first position prize. We also have a second position prize and third position prize as well. And so for second position, would you like to go ahead and tell them?
Yeah.
This one is the one that all new potential fanciers should be listening up for.
Yeah. No, so the second prize is a full team free entry. So you can send 20 pigeons next year,
Yeah.
and you have a full team free entry, and obviously in a run for the Black Jacket competition. And that's a value of $15,000. Yeah. And yeah, third prize is $1,500. So yeah, lots of prize money. You can actually go and have a look at the whole payout. We even have a fancy of the race as well. And if you accumulate all the values of all the prizes, it's quite a big payout. Yeah.
Certainly. So definitely, please do go to africapro.com. Take a look at our standings. Take a look at your rankings as well. And then also, we have our final coming up in Sun City. Those of you who have never been to Sun City before, you are missing out big time. But this is your opportunity as well as a fancier to make sure that you meet us there for the final. So please do go ahead and book in Sun City. You can go straight to our website and book from there. We'll see you at the final. It's going to be absolutely exciting. All fanciers from around the world. I think, you know, it's that place where you want to come and meet your co-fanciers. Your competition is.
Yeah.
Not only that, we have 4 full days of an authentic Africa Pro experience leading up to the finals.
Yeah. No, the pigeons might be here. Let's quickly have a look.
It looks like the pigeons
Yeah,
are
there's the first back. There's the pigeons. Here's the pigeons.
beautiful, beautiful scenery there from the pigeons. And this is now the very, very first flock, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to find out who the first pigeon is and the race winner.
Wow. Ferdi Kutzer.
Well done.
Well done,
Ferdi.
Ferdi. Unbelievable.
Congratulations, Ferdi.
Okay, so the first position is Ferdi Kutzer and Loft Einkammer. And Kingston Gijslow 2 again. Wow. Wilson Creer. Harry Wilson and Creer. Well done to them as well.
In 5th position, Gel Jalema. 6th position, Team Vision. Welcome to the top 10. 7th position, Herman Buekelo. Welcome as well to the top 10.
Wow. Teams out of Netherlands, they're doing good today. And here's TNT, Elite Center. I was wondering when that name going to feature because I know they're getting also better and better as the race get longer and longer.
And then we have in 9th position, Klaus Steinecker, Rob and Pim van Vien.
All the way from Germany. Well done to Klaus. And also SG Ulrich in the painted featuring again.
Once again, well
Unbelievable.
done, guys. Good to see you in the top 10. Not letting down yourselves at all.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, that is a very, very good performance there from them.
So well done, congratulations. Absolutely amazing to see the birds landing. They look like they're in good condition still.
Yeah, it looks like a very good condition, yes. I just want to quickly have a look at the Black Jacket standing, if that changed at all.
Certainly, let's take
Or
a
the
look
Blue
at that.
Jacket. Okay, so on the Blue Jackets, all top 15 is still running. So the Blue Jacket standing didn't change much. So let's quickly have on a fancier of the race is TNT.
Well done.
Well done to TNT Loft. You are the fancier of the race so far.
Congratulations, TNT Elite Center. Very, very well done. Absolutely amazing performance.
There's the first 15 pigeons in for the day. And Team Europa came in 11th position after Simon Ulrich and the Painters. And then Martin Steffel, all the way from Germany. Well done, Martin. And Yassim from Kuwait in the 13th position. Kingston Geislow won also in the 14th. And Julia Marie. Well done, Julia. She's in Germany. They just bought that pigeon, and yeah, so it's actually a beautiful story. Thomas bought that pigeon for Julia Marie as a wedding present. They just got married, and he bought that pigeon for her. He created a team for her, and now I see she's going to beat him, perhaps, and who knows, she might win the final.
Congratulations, guys.
Very good.
Very well done. Looks like Julia Marie's bird is in honeymoon over there.
Yes.
Absolutely enjoying the race.
Let's have a look at the brown jacket standing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Team Vision move up 2 positions. Umberkalov dropped 1 position, and Kukumur and Gomes also dropped 1 position. But yeah, no, all their time is still running. So Team Vision is now today officially the brown jacket leaders. Well done to Team Vision. Also no name in Africa Pro. They had a superb final in their first year. And last year also done good on the Sprinter Series. There's more pigeons coming.
Yep, here we go. Let's take a look. So well done to Team Vision single. And here we go. This would now be our second group of birds to land. Really beautiful scenes there, just hovering above the loft. Almost about to clock in. Looks like they still had having some fun there in the air.
Yeah. Keep circling now. It's going to go for the second time.
And here
There's another pack coming. A second pack coming. Oh, yes, the first pigeon's landing. Kazi, well done.
So the groups are pretty tight. I mean, in fact, tighter than we thought, especially for the endurance leg of our series.
Yes. They're doing very good now, yeah.
And here comes another
Wow. Another nice pack coming in.
Now for
Oh, look at nice. This is the discipline now, eh? They keep coming in. Very nice.
Wasting absolutely no time just outside of the loft, just coming straight in. I think this is what would make our fanciers very happy. You know, I mean, that means the homing process was very, very successful, and it speaks very highly of Africa Pro, its handlers and its loft manager.
I'm very curious. Oh, there's more pigeons coming in.
Looks like it's been a very, very good race for the pigeons. If you're listening, you might be able to hear our handlers just outside, just calling the pigeons in, guiding them in, but really doing absolutely no work. The pigeons they're looking forward to coming home themselves.
Yeah. Now they're looking really very good.
Good landings as well.
Yeah. Now you can see that a good race. They're still looking very good and very strong, and I'm happy because next week we might have a tougher race, and they need to recover for that race as well. For Africa Pro, we have consecutive races, so it's very important to observe how the pigeons look when they arrive, because we need to start focus also on the next week's race. And when it get longer and longer, every week it's just further and further. Just so that everyone know, that pigeon that sits there already clocked. If it stands on that pad there, it's clocked, and there's another one clocking, and there we can see how the pigeons is well disciplined and clocked very nicely.
So just for the guys that are new to the sport, the pigeon actually clocks when they cross that line and not when they actually go into the loft. So that really makes it visible for us as well to see who's coming in first.
Yes, there's another one coming in.
Really pristine conditions that you keep your pigeons in. Hendrik, I really must commend you for that. Beautiful, beautiful loft as well. And right here in the heart of Limpopo in the Waterberg region, you know, it's absolutely no better place for the birds. Even for the humans, you can see like I said, I look forward to coming here every single week and spending time with you guys, your team, and the birds.
Oh, thank you so much, Khotso. Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you around. And Yeah, to see how the Pigeons is doing is also is very nice. Oh, there's Hans Paul S at 25th position. No, for sale pigeon. So I'm quite sure those for sale pigeons will go up for sale now very quickly.
They'll be flying. They'll be flying.
Yeah,
out
there's
very
another one
quickly.
there.
Excuse the pun,
Yeah.
but they'll be flying out very quickly. And like we said, there is a big discount on for sale pigeons, which also leads into the competition. So guys, trust me, you want to take advantage of that. You can win both ways with the pigeons and with that car. Next week, you can drive away that beautiful Ford Wildtrak. I see there in 62 we have Pigeon Palace 2.
Let's quickly have a look at our brown jacket standing there. Wow, look at the changes we see already now in the brown jacket.
Some major jumps there within the
Yes,
top 10.
and there, so what we can see is right now is Team Vision on the top, Ferry Koetser at a very good race. Kings and Gijslow too. Wow, Kings and Gijslow is just always performing well. Hans Paul Esse, well done to Hans Paul Esse and Andreas Muller. I'm very curious to see how those pigeons are going to do on the longer distances. This is a very good sign for them. Those pigeons are born and bred in Europe from Andreas Muller, and he's doing very good. Yeah, so Ferry Koetser just moved 30 positions up today. Yeah, 31 positions. And Kings and Gijslow, 34 positions. But what caught my attention again, Ulrich and the Painters. I know they have the green jacket been dominating there. And now here's the brown jacket on endurance side, and they move 53 positions up to the 8th position there.
They'll be very happy with
that. And Kukumur and Gomes, 38 positions up on the 9th position, and Yassim also 90 positions from Kuwait. Sure. Well done to Yassim, all the way from Kuwait.
Absolutely.
Moving up.
Yeah, really great movement there.
Yeah, Kevin himself, I just had an interview last night with him.
Yes.
And he also tends to become very stronger this year as it gets longer. Last year, I'm gonna very curious to see where he's ranking now today on the black jacket competition. If let's just have a look there quick.
Maybe it's
he was ranked 11th, and Kevin moved into 9th position on the black jacket. Yes, and he can even moving up because 3 Continent Syndicate still waiting for a second pigeon, as well as Team the Painters, Simon Ulrich and the Painters. So there's still a few teams that can drop down in the top 10 on the black jacket, as we see, and there's more pigeons coming.
Right, so looking very positive for Kevin in position number 9. Could still possibly jump up 2 or 3 positions.
Yes. Let's have a look at our blue jacket standings. Wow. So far, it looks like the top, there's no changes yet in the top, although the 3 Continents is busy catching now. They're moving up with that their pigeon, going up already 8 positions. And the top 4, there's Kings and Gijslow, Bulland, Painters, and Valia, and the 3 Continents pigeons didn't even arrive yet. Oh no, 3 Continents pigeons arrived. The top 4 positions, the pigeons are still out, still open, yes. And Team Waymans and everyone is lined up here now. They lined up to catch up with those top, top 4 guys, yeah. So I think I really hope to see when is that pigeon clocking now. That pigeon can clock any moment from now, and that standings won't change.
But in that blue jacket race, good to see some of the Belgians and the Germans also featuring there.
Yes, yeah. Now I'm very impressed with Bullen's pigeon this year. They have a phenomenal season.
Absolutely.
That seems to get stronger and stronger.
And still with 3 endurance races left, it looks like they might still dominate in that top 10.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so the Painters and Ulrich pigeon does clock. There we can see the one in the 3rd position. So, and there's more pigeons coming in.
Looks like we might have a few rapid results coming in right now. I must say, Hendrik, I'm pretty happy with the visuals of birds landing. You know, I mean, it's always good to put the birds through, you know, a competitive, challenging race. However, right at the end, there's quite a difference that I've seen, especially for myself, just joining, you know, one-off racing. You can definitely see a difference between the past few weeks and today's landings with the birds. So as a potential fancier myself, I'd be very happy.
Yeah, no, we are very pleased to see, and that's what I read out of last week's race that was so tough, is the Pigeons are really in form and are getting in a better and better form as we approach the final. And that's exactly what you want.
Sure.
So we have now confidence that we can take them to the final. Obviously, the bolt up to the final, but the Pigeons are really, truly in a good form. They're flying themselves into form.
Sure.
This is a saying we have here.
But I think it's also not just about flying themselves into form. I think big kudos goes to your team here at the Loft, the handlers as well as Ruan, the manager. I know that throughout the week, even through recovery, they do take them on their short training sessions, and just keep them active.
Yes, yeah. But here we can see now the changes start happening now in the Blue Jacket rankings. The Painters move up to the third position now, and the Free Continents fourth position. So they move up 9 positions. And the Valia Rossen, which is Valia Free, just drop out 1 position now, from the 4th to the 5th position.
Then you have
the Painters move up now to the 2nd position, where Bullen unfortunately dropped now to the 3rd position for him.
So we're getting more results coming in at the moment.
I can just imagine how Bullen sits on the edge of his chair and just hope that his Pigeon is in any pack that's arrived right now. The same applies to Kings and Gijslow.
Of course, if they're listening, which I'm quite sure they are, good luck to you once again, gentlemen. Then we also have moving up 6 notches, De Plachter and Stekfontein.
Wow.
Actually 7 notches now, and now in position number 5.
Yes, and that's also a team that I know of. They actually known in South Africa for flying finals. They're doing very, very good in the Central Loft in Bloemfontein. They basically win every single prize that loft have to offer. Also one-off race, yeah. But in particular in the finals in AFRIKAPRO as well, last year 5th final.
Yeah.
And even in the very first year, they only enter 1 single Pigeon in other team, and that Pigeon also came on a final and scored very well. So I know the Plachter Sterkfontein, they just get better and better as it gets longer and longer. Okay, so Fancy of the Race results are out all the way till the 12th, 11th position so far. Oh no, all the way till 15 there. So TNT win the Fancy of the Race for today on a 383 kilometers. Well done to TNT.
Well done.
And Loft Einkammer as well, 2nd there. Well done on Butch. And Hans-Paul Esse and Andreas Müller from Germany. Super performance there. Well done to you guys. Munich and Stradam, Willy Munich, well done. And Kingston Gijslow too. Well known. Very dominant this year. Team Europa, I'm very, very impressed from all the way from Poland. Done, Team Europa done extremely well.
Right.
Well done to them as well.
Welcome to the top 10.
Yeah, and Peter and JL was also the Blue Jacket winners of last year, and they just showed their steel again this year. Yeah, it's Radford and Visser done very good. Klaus Tiniger, super race so far. Upward Spiral, Pipman Racing, very good. And Team Vision, I start showing their steel again now this time of the year.
Yes.
It's longer. And then Harry Wilson and Creer, well done to you guys. And Umberka Loft, his name is always out there. That means he might retain his top 10 ranking in a black jacket.
Indeed,
yes.
Indeed.
And Valia as well. Valia, Rossen and Dobrev, unbelievable good performance this year for them as well. And Kukamur and Gomes just saved themselves as well, just to be
Just
up there.
it.
Yeah, so for them, they're perhaps not happy, but this is a super performance because they used to be 2nd for 3 consecutive weeks.
Right.
And at least they make still the top 15. Well done to you.
Look, we had a conversation with Joe Gomes anyway, and getting to know the man personally, he's not a person who gives up. He's not seeing his competition as easy, like he said, but he's definitely not giving up on that.
Yeah. Let me see what's the changes. Here's our brown jacket ranking for today. Wow, I see Dieter Siebert in a 15th position. Unbelievable. Good, well done, Dieter. And Pigeon Palace 2, 31 positions they're climbing. And Kukumur and Grahams 5 positions there. Gannes Family Loft 17 positions. Wow. Well done to Mike Gannes. Umberka Loft from Qatar 69 positions climbing. So this is these Pigeons fully fly them now into form.
Yes.
This Pigeons is a very good sign. I'm very curious to see what they're going to do next week when they race for a car. You see 90 positions going
Biggest
up.
climb for the day.
Yeah, on the brown jacket now. Kukumur and Gomes again, the second time their name appear here in this ranking of the brown jacket endurance series, 38 positions. Team Simon Ulrich, 35 positions they climb. And unbelievable, eh? Last week a very tough race.
Yes.
This week it's not such a tough race, but they keep coming very well. They keep improving. Kuni Harting just dropped 1 position. Kevin 10 positions up with his Pigeon. Very good race for him. Kingsley Gijslow 34 positions, very good at 31, and Team Vision is also the fancier of the race and currently leading the brown jackets.
Yes.
Well done to Team Vision.
So once again in that top 10, some common names that have shown up before, really certifying and solidifying their position.
Yes. Yeah. I see in the Country Cup, Team Qatar just moved up there. Also in the second position, well done to Mberkalov. In United States, it's in the third position with Belgium 4th, Netherlands 5th, Bulgaria 6th.
Germans 7.
Yes. Yo, there's more and more Pigeons coming in. The follow-up is very nice.
Yep, beautiful sighting there.
Yeah, I just saw Jelle Jellema's Pigeon come in 5th there, and this is a Pigeon born and bred there in Netherlands, shipped all the way from there. And Jelle actually just this week also invested in some of the single birds as well, to give you obviously everyone want to have a good chance when you go to the final and when you do a car race. But here Jelle come now, and he's doing unbelievable well. He even won some prize money today on 5th position. Well done, Jelle. First international fancier for the day. Unbelievable. Good performance there. I hope you carry that on to the final.
Indeed.
I know his Pigeons can. He's known in the world for long distance racing. Yeah, when it gets serious, 1,100 kilometers.
Absolutely grueling races over there. Well, Jella, hopefully we get to see you at the finals in Sun City.
For sure, we're gonna see him. Yeah, Jelle, one day I will do a 1,100 kilometer final for you.
I think we'll have to name it after him if he actually wins it.
Yeah.
There's some very beautiful visuals there of the birds just landing. Some of them just hanging outside the loft, not really clocking in there. But again, when the birds cross that line is when they clock. I understand, Henrik, not when they actually go into the loft.
Yes, yeah. Now, so here's the Blue Jacket ranking, and I'm very pleased to see Brilliant's Pigeon did arrive, and unfortunately just dropped 1 position, but still he's up there. It's a unbelievable, very good performance. I just want everyone to notice these pigeons are flying against the best in the world. And for me, if I want to see whose pigeons and genetics is good, I always just go straight to the Blue Jacket. And that is a good result for me of pigeons flying against all conditions, different conditions in Africa and from all over the world.
Right.
So what these pigeons we see right in front of us, we can really regard as high quality.
No, certainly. Now, some of the new people watching and listening might be wondering what the Blue Jacket is about. Now, we do go through different legs in our series. We have our sprinter series, we have our mid races, and then we have the endurance series. Would you like to explain just a little bit further for the new people joining the race?
Yeah. So for the shorter distances, we have the sprint series, the first 5 races, and then of course the endurance series is for the 5 last races, which is the 5 longest races,
Right.
and that's like for us the endurance. But the blue jacket is the ace pigeon that is from the very first race to the very last race, and every pigeon flies against the clock, very much exactly the same as the Tour de France,
Sure.
yellow jersey ranking.
Yes.
So what we basically see in front of us here is the yellow jersey ranking of pigeons in the world. Yeah, and this is your top 15 ranking right now as we speak. And I'm also very pleased to see Dr. De Weert is still up there. He moved 30 positions up today into the 13th position, and it can still move up. Unfortunately for Valia, I think that is a pigeon I was advocating so much. Valia free, he start dropping out now. But Jort Batenburg as well from Netherlands move up 24 positions. I know the Batenburgs is world renowned for world-class pigeons.
Yes.
And there you see that. What I've discussed earlier today, genetics just never hardly prove themselves wrong.
Right.
Always come through when it's much needed, particularly if it's longer distances and warmer conditions in Africa. And who knows, when it's perhaps sometimes a slower race as well. But in this case, it was a fast race, and still this good genetics just proved themselves.
No, certainly, and I think Bullet Mavis will be very, very happy with themselves in that 3rd position right now.
Yeah, for sure. What we see as well, that's quite common, as the distance get longer, seconds become minutes.
Yes.
So today is the first time we will start seeing that the differences between the pigeons on the blue jacket ranking between 1st and 2nd position is now 5 minutes. And yeah. Okay, there's the black jacket rankings for us. Let's see, and it looks like all the black jacket rankings is in for the top 15 already. And yeah, Kings and Gijslow just remain on the top first 2 positions. Cucumber and Gomes move up another 1 position. Unbelievable. So far, they didn't have a real big upset race. Only in the beginning of the series when it was short distances, Joe make a miscalculation by nominating his pigeons wrongly. But that is also the challenge out there for every fancier, to know its pigeons and to nominate them right. And but for sure, Joe, as I mentioned before, his pigeons keep coming through when it's much needed, and a clear indication of that. Umberkalov, that came last year 2nd in the black jacket, move up now 2 positions. So, and Umberka is also a fancier that invests in Africa Pro pigeons on an auction. So what he typically do is he will buy final race winners and ace pigeons, pair them up, and keep his genetics of Africa Pro for this climate conditions, competing in Africa Pro. So it's a clever thinking of him. And Bart Gevering's unbelievable. Very known locally in Europe with Simon Colsbrunner, and they just keep coming stronger and stronger from Europe all the way. And I have so much respect for that. Those pigeons, they got everything right, the timing, the shipment, and the pigeons now for the 2nd year in a row. Last year they were in the top rankings on the black jacket and have a superb final. Could have well been a winner of the final, or equal winner at least, for sure. And look how they just keep moving up every week from now on. Santo Ulrich in the painter, Simon Ulrich, Torsten Ulrich, hope to see you soon as well in the final. In the painters, moving up another position. And the 2nd team just dropped down 4 positions. And then Kevin breakthrough into the top 10 today. And he's also a very good friend of Kings and Gijslow. And they're racing in the same club, same union. And they're doing unbelievable well in that club. They've been very, very competitive. But now they move their focus to Africa Pro. That is the race for them to win.
No, certainly, I think Africa Pro Black Jacket is that title that every fancier is vying for. But Hendrik, just touching back on last week, you predicted that there will be a lot of movement in the Black Jackets top 10. How accurate have your predictions been, especially taking into consideration how tough last week was?
Yeah, no, so you're 100% right. When I realized it's such a tough race, I noticed then you can see big changes in the rankings, and particularly on the black jacket. But we now getting to a point from after the result we see in front of this.
Sure.
If you're going to slip now, it's going to be very, very hard to catch up, because the teams that move up now to the top is teams that also, as I said earlier before, if I count now, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Yeah, it's
Five.
five teams in the top 10 right now as we speak. Was last year also in the top 10.
Yes.
And so that's going to be very difficult to move those guys out. In particular, if you drop down and way down now, to recover from that is difficult. Although we must remember, in the final, anything can happen. Saying that, Africa Pro must just not mess it up by liberating pigeons in the rain or very
Sure.
bad weather conditions. But in a normal race day, it's going to become harder and harder to change these, to move, to lift these guys that
Sure.
repetitively can move up in the top 10 when it matters most.
Right, absolutely phenomenal. Like, but once again, touching on that 50% of last year's top 10, also making it here to this year's top 10 already in such an early, well, not that early. We're still in the middle leg, just above the middle leg. But I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal for them to be in top 10 Black Jackets, and this year already in top 10 again.
Yeah. Also, I'm very pleased to see that the Germans doing so well. Yes,
Yes.
Nels Godeman, he's always featuring in Africa Pro. His name was, even in the very first year, he was the European fancier that actually was up there in the rankings, I think top 3, even leading the Black Jacket at the States.
Right.
And then in the second year, his name was there as well. Unfortunately, dropped out in the second part of the series.
Sure.
But this year, he becomes stronger and stronger as the series get longer and longer. And Hans-Paul Esse as well.
Yes.
Hans-Paul Esse done a bit of homework and he partnered up with Andres Müller. And between the two of them, they are very, very good pigeons. I met Andres Müller in Germany and I handle these pigeons unbelievable. Very, very good quality pigeons. You can just see it on the result today. Moving up 9 positions. So I'm quite impressed to see also the big changes in the Black Jacket. And for sure, the race is not over.
No, it's very, very tough, very tight indeed.
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fanciers around the world, we're all fanciers and we're all fans of pigeons and one love racing. However, Africa Pro is not just about the birds. We're also about the fast cars and the beautiful cars and the cars that can keep up to the birds if you're tracking them. And so that just leads into our big, huge competition. I think one of the biggest in the country, giving away a beautiful Ford, brand new Ford Wild Track from Africa Pro. Absolutely amazing, Hendrik.
Yeah, no, really looking forward to next week's race. It looks like it might be Thursday, Wednesday.
Yes.
Going to see if the weather allows. We just want to open there with no rain. When a cloud cover is opening up, once we got a gap, we're going to liberate the pigeons. So really looking forward to next week's race, and it's going to be 430 kilometers.
Sure.
And build up to our final.
Absolutely amazing. And while we're talking about that, we do have our for sale pigeons that are going for, for 50%.
Yes, so we're going to have a discount on this for if you want to stand a chance to win a car, $500 a pigeon, and you can then have a good chance to win a car next week. And there's good prize money as well. Second prize, as we say, is a full free team entry.
Sure.
And as you see today, even the pigeons up for sale done extremely well. They ranked in the top 30s. So who knows who's going to win the car next week?
No, I'm absolutely excited about that second prize. And then the third prize is $1,500.
Yeah. No, so and that's all prices all the way up till top 10.
Right.
Yeah.
So Africa Pro looking very, very generous over there. Thank you so much, Henry. Great work from yourself. I think the fanciers will be happy with that one. And then the one that the ultimate fancier meeting, the finals, that's going to be happening in Sun City. We'd like to encourage you to please to go to our website, africapro.com, and make sure you secure your bookings for the finals in Sun City. It's going to be absolutely amazing. 4 days, authentic, delicious food. Courtesy of Africa Pro. That's the part I'm really looking forward to, Henrik.
Yeah, no, that's going to be exciting. It's lots of excitement. I just came from Sun City, was there yesterday, and that's going to be, we're going to do a lot of effort, and it's going to be impressive. So really looking forward to have all of you there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to say thank you so much for tuning in. We're looking at a very, very good return rate so far. The day is still young, the weather is still great. And still for those fanciers who have their birds coming in, good luck still. Let's take a look at some of our top 10 standings.
Oh, so there we have Team Vision winning the brown jacket today. Well done to Team Vision, and they win it with 3 minutes and 12 seconds. They're leading it now. Move in the first position up there. So, and Ferry Kutze have a phenomenal race today as well. So well done to them. As well as the blue jacket ranking, if we can see there, it is the Team Painters that move up now in the first position there, and they're leading it now with 5 minutes 12 seconds. So this is the biggest gap we have so far for the season between the first and second position. And then Bulland on the third position there, 5 minutes 36 seconds from the leading pigeon. And then on the black jacket rankings as we speak today is Kingston Low 1 and Kingston Low 2 up there still, yeah. And Kukamoor and Gams in the third position, just 9 seconds after the second pigeon. But yeah, well done to all our participants, and really looking forward to see you next week when the car race is on. I wonder who's going to win that car.
Yeah, looking forward to
the Ford Wild Track.
Yes, absolutely beautiful car. So someone's going to be driving away with that beautiful Ford Wild Track. But till then, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute honor from Hendrik and myself. Good luck. Keep on flying high.